Welcome back, or welcome to my channel. It has been a while since I last posted a video, but I am trying to be consistent, and I did take off like a lot of time from posting, mainly because I was traveling and I had braids. So because I post like natural hair content, I genuinely did not have anything to post. I was posting a little bit over on TikTok. So if you're curious or want to see what I've been up to for like the last month, you can go over there. But I am going to do my hair. I washed it. It had been weeks. I finally hit 6 weeks with my braids. So I did wash my hair. I just did a twist out on this hair, and I thought I would like style the front with some braids. I do this a lot on my channel. Right now they're like super popular and they've been rebranded, but I'm gonna do that. So to start with, I'm just gonna pull back my hair so that I can part it. I'm probably gonna have the braids going like in this general direction, and then keeping like my side part, it'll just be covered. But I'm gonna pull my hair back so that I can at least start parting. This is just a flat twist, so I'm gonna take this down. Also, I didn't think I knew how to flat twist, but these curls are kind of coming out really good. So flat twist tutorial potentially coming soon, maybe. Oh, don't hold me to that. Okay, so I just took down that flat twist. As I mentioned, I'm gonna braid my front, the front part of my hair at least, and I want them like going this way for like my little bang situation that I have going on. So I will show like the final parting like pattern at the end. But probably will not like record the entirety of it just because I'm gonna be here for a little bit. So I'm just gonna like part off these sections a little bit, and then I will start like braiding them down. I need more clips. I just got a bunch of these like little metal clips to keep them out of the way, since a lot of the parts that I will be doing will be pretty small. So to part my hair and to like do my cornrows, I'm going to be using this, what is this? Hair and scalp treatment by the Design Essentials, one of my favorite brands. So I'm just going to be using like a tiny little bit of this while I'm doing it. And that's just so that there's not a ton of buildup. I probably still will use some edge control in some areas just to like make sure my parts are really clean, but I'm going to try not to, at least at first. Okay, so one of the reasons why I had braids and why I have been like not posting on my channel is because I was traveling. So I actually, for our family vacation this year, we decided to go to Japan, and it was like amazing. So let me just say it was amazing. But we spent 10 days in Japan, and I actually flew to California like a week prior, just so that I could like be there with my family so that we could all fly out of the same airport instead of like trying to coordinate once we all landed in Japan. The whole trip was like 10 days because it takes like a whole day to get there. But we were in Tokyo, and then we went to Kyoto, and then a day trip in Nara, and then we went to Osaka. Also, I lied. I don't know what I was thinking. Of course I'm going to need edge control. Like, as much as I don't want to use it, I don't have a choice. So I'm going to be using this like dummy edge control. I finally got it. And this is actually what I used for my braids since I needed to order new edge control. This is also what I took to Japan, where it was super humid and my edges held up really well every day. But as I was saying, we were in Japan. We had an amazing time. If I can, I'll put up some like photos, potentially even like the TikTok that I made of our trip. But we had an amazing time. In terms of the highlights and like what we did a lot of shopping, obviously. So I do have a haul on my channel of all of the things that I did buy in Japan. I bought one of my I bought my first like luxury bag in Japan, because Japan is really known for their like vintage luxury. So I bought my first bag. I did custom embroidery at the Gap store in Shibuya, which I think I had either mentioned it on my channel or at least like alluded to it. I'm a huge anime fan, so it was amazing to like be in Japan and to see a lot of like the art form that I've watched and admired like come to life. The people were really nice and friendly. The one thing I will say though is I think a lot of like the younger generations do speak English. However, they do have an older population, and most of the people like in the cities and things like that that you would be interacting with, a lot of them only speak Japanese. And so, or at least where we were, a lot of people only spoke Japanese, and we were taking like public transportation and things like that a lot of the time. So highly recommend having a portable charger, because we were definitely dependent on our phones for translation, for transportation, all of the things. The food was also amazing. Good, I just had to clean that up super quickly. The food was amazing. Some of the best pastries that I've ever had. What else did we do? Tons of temples. We did do a lot of like the tourist attractions. So we went to the bamboo forest when we were in Kyoto, I believe. We saw a ton of shrines. We also did a day trip in Nara, which is where they have like that deer sanctuary. So that was really cool. We fed a bunch of deers, and like you feed them and they bow to you. So like that was really cute. What else did we do? I feel like whenever I travel, it just makes me like, it really emphasizes my need or want for walkable cities, because it really does like change the game when you can just like get up and do what you want to do and not need to like take your car. There's a lot more freedom, I believe, in just walking. We did average like 9 miles a day of walking. So over the course of our trip, we walked around like 60 miles. Came back heavier, which is always slightly annoying. It did rain. So we went in June, which is their like rainy season. I can't think of the exact term that it's called. But it was pretty rainy when we went. So that is just like something to keep in mind. But overall, we were able to like get around and do what we wanted to do. I would definitely say for me, the highlight of the trip was going to the Studio Ghibli Museum. So I'm a huge fan of the movies. I don't know if I have a favorite. So maybe Howl's Moving Castle is my favorite. I was able to get us tickets. So I believe tickets open up on the 10th of the month prior, and they open at around, I think like 10 a.m. in Tokyo, which is like roughly, I think either like 8 or 9 p.m. here. I was able to get us tickets, which were super exciting. So we took the train there, and then we took a bus, and it was like the cat bus from My Neighbor Totoro. So that was adorable. The museum is really well done. Some people say it's like not worth it, and I think it was like 10 USD, like it was super cheap. So for me, it was worth it because it was also really cheap. But it was a magical time. You can't take any photography in the museum, which I was not bothered by. I got like not way too much stuff in the museum, but I did get a lot of cute little things. And so if I can, like, I'll see if I can put up like the little photo of like all the things that I got from the Studio Ghibli Museum. One did include a movie from My Neighbor Totoro, like the movie poster. I got a like booklet of the making of Spirited Away and like some of the still shots and the original drawings. And then I also got a bunch of postcards, which I actually like keep on my little work desk. So I got this one And this one, this is like of a drawing rendition, like of the movie. I don't know. Okay, wait, can you see it? You have to go here. Okay, yeah, this one. This is Howl's Moving Castle, the castle. This one's from Pocoroso. And yeah, we're back to them. So I had an amazing time. It was like beautiful to be there. They also show a short film that you can only see there at the museum. So it was really great. If anyone also has Japan on their bucket list, I would highly recommend going. Okay, so we're coming along. I don't know why I thought I could do this without edge control. I mean, must have just been wishful thinking on my behalf, because like, come on now, how would that even work? But yeah, so that was Japan. And I feel like the transition back to work is always a little bit painful from a vacation, because like one minute you were like strolling through the streets eating pastries, and the next meeting you're like stressed because like Billy Bob hasn't seen your email and you like need to open up a PO. Like just like little things like that. But work has been going well. I am really grateful though to still have my job. Like, thank God for that, because there are a lot more terminations and whatnot going on in the space just due to the current economic climate. So, I don't know, things like that never really stress me out. And I think that is because of like my beliefs and things like that. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of times when people are like, oh, why are you a Christian? Or like, why do you believe in God? Or things like that. But the thing that I always tell people when they're like, oh, like, why are you a Christian? And things like that. Like, why, like, how can you believe in God when XYZ thing happens? And the response that I always give is, it brings me a lot of peace. To know that it is not me that is like technically making all of my decisions. Like, I have to be a good like steward of the opportunities and the blessings that I have, and I have to cultivate that relationship with Christ and whatnot. It brings me a lot of peace to know that at the end of the day, it's like above me. And so, for example, when things like this happen with work, like, yes, it's stressful. Yes, you don't know kind of like what it will entail, but I do get a lot of peace in knowing that my steps are ordered by Christ and that what is for me won't pass me. And I've also heard that from a lot of like my friends and things like that in terms of their journey. But it does give you like a certain perspective when like things are hitting the fan. Okay, so from here on out, I'm just going to like keep swooping and doing this waterfall all the way across until I get to the end. So I will tune back in when I get closer to the end of my hair. Okay, I finished all my little braids. I'm just taking this balm and I'm just gonna apply this to my hair. I cannot remember what I was saying last, but I did briefly want to talk about what animes I'm watching / which ones I finished, because I do love anime. So I just finished, is it Insomniacs After Dark or Insomniacs After School? I can't remember. It's about these two kids and they have insomnia, not kids, they're in high school. Super cute and like beautiful. So I just finished that. It was really cute. Okay, let me just take this down and let me try to do two things at once. So I'm just gonna start like defining these pieces with a little bit of water and then a little bit of my favorite mousse, which is the Camille Rose mousse. In terms of like other ones that I'm watching or looking forward to, I can't remember if I mentioned Apothecary Diaries in my like last anime that I'm watching video, but I am watching that one. I think the finale just aired. But fun fact about me, I actually don't like watching animes in real time, because if I'm super into it, I don't want to wait until next week. Like, I want to be able to binge it. Maybe it's like, I don't know, instant gratification thing, but I want to watch the whole thing now. So yeah, I've been waiting for season 2 to like wrap up. I think I stopped it around episode 16. So I've been waiting for it to wrap up so that I can like actually watch it. So now that it's finished, I'm like super excited. That's probably what I'm gonna do tomorrow before I go back to work. It's the long weekend. It is 4th of July weekend. What else have I been watching? I rewatched Your Name. Oh, such a good movie. That is actually one. So the first like anime movie I ever watched was like My Neighbor Totoro. But Your Name was the first one that I watched that was not Studio Ghibli, and that made me be like, oh, I need to get into romance animes. So it was just as good as I had remembered, which is always really nice when your memory serves you correctly. So that was really cool. But yeah, I'm gonna finish up this side and then I'll come back once my hair is all defined. I'm back. I just put on some makeup for the end of this video, but this is the final look. This is the braid pattern that I did. I didn't do it like as intricate on this side since my hair was kind of already parted, and then this is just like a twist out. I think I mentioned it, but I was super happy with the way this has come out. If you stuck around to the end, thank you. If you have any questions about how I did this hairstyle, anything like that, please let me know. If there are any other hairstyles you would also want to see, let me know. I love like braided hairstyles in the front, especially for the summertime, because your hair isn't in your face. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.